It's everything I wanted it to be and a little bit more. I don't know how to describe it.
What's up, guitarist? Metz here. Welcome back. I'm really excited today because, as you may or may not know, I have been working extremely hard putting together my Metz Academy, a place where guitarists can confidently be mentored by me to learn everything they need to know about music theory and fretboard navigation. I know a lot of you that have potentially been watching my channel resonate with my style of teaching. They like how I break things down. And of course, you can learn tons here on YouTube, but people sometimes want a little more help. They want to be taken step by step, get a lot more exercises, things like that, and mostly join a community of other people that are doing the same thing. Anyways, I've been working on this academy really hard, and you might have noticed that I haven't posted a lot of new free content out there on YouTube. It's temporary. I will go back to posting some videos. I've just been really extremely focused right now on developing the academy, make sure everyone gets the best possible experience. And today I'll be speaking actually to one of my first academy students, part of what I called the VIP group, the group of students that went through the program for the first time, and talking to Brian here, who just basically got done with the first phase of the program. So roughly a month and a half, right? 6 weeks is what I usually anticipate the phase one is going to last. Brian agreed to meet with me and tell everyone here about his experience in the Metz Academy. And I am honestly extremely just humbled, grateful, and just delighted that I could get some reviews like this, and to hear what Brian had to say here really warmed my heart deeply, because I put a lot of work and energy into this. I really believe in this. I really believe that it can help people. And to get this validation from Brian in this video, but also a ton of other students, and you'll see those videos shortly, is just very rewarding and is motivating me to keep going. So without further ado, let's hear what Brian has to say about the Metz Academy. I am sitting here with Brian Murphy, and Brian joined actually the VIP, the beta group of the Metz Academy. So he was one of the first to kind of go through the program as I'm building it. Where were you at before this on your guitar journey? Like, what was kind of like, how long had you been playing? And what got you to that point where you decided, hey, I think I'm ready to like hop on to go through some sort of education on the guitar?
It's a long, winding road. I think I started playing when I was like 13, and it was all day, every day for years and years. And then, I became a father and a lot of life happened. But, it was always there in the corner of the room. So I would go through little phases where I'd pick it up and then I'd put it down and back and forth. And then I had carpal tunnel in both my wrists, like severely. So then I got the surgery for that like maybe 9 months ago, and realized I could play guitar again, and have been going crazy on it ever since. But for the last maybe 10 years, I have been trying to teach myself theory. And for anybody who's attempted that, it's it's rough. It's really rough. And even just digging out stuff in my storage garage, I've got you know, guitar theory posters and the chords and all that jazz. So I got to a point where it was like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm going to do it right, and attempted it online again, basically through YouTube. But I was searching the whole time. I felt like I needed not lessons, but an actual program, an A to Z kind of deal. And I feel like I willed your program into existence. You did. You sent out that email, and it was one of those deals where I felt like you were talking directly to me. And then it's like, it's a lot of money, but man, it's everything I wanted it to be and a little bit more. I don't know how to describe it really, but it's start here and slowly work your way through it. And like I said, the group aspect of everything is it's just fun. Like you're every day you're learning and you're picking stuff up, but the whole time I'm realizing that I'm having fun in the middle of it doing it, like with the little challenges and everything else. Freaking loving the course. Like I think it's well put together. I love the fact that I can do it at my own pace and go as fast or as slow as I want because it's especially like last week while I was traveling, I could just hop on my computer anytime or whatever when I get a free moment, and
Yeah.
it's going well. It's going
Yeah.
well. I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to do with this course compared to like the one-on-one before, is allow people to get the benefits, still get the content, if not more content. In fact, you're probably getting like 3 or 4 times more content than you would in the one-on-one. I can only say so much in in 1 hour, you know. Um, and then having more touch points with quizzes, allowing you to kind of test your knowledge, making sure you're kind of like honest, you know, keeping you honest about your knowledge. And then of course the group calls to still get some reps, ask questions, go a little deeper into some notions and stuff. So
To kind of see where everybody else is at. I don't know why that helps me or like makes me feel so much more at ease.
yeah,
Um, because you're getting hung up on this or that, and then you realize that everybody's going at their own rate or pace, and it's I don't I the group aspect of it is a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah. It's fun to see other people. I think there's one thing about sometimes take our relationship to our guitar playing. We build up a lot of insecurities. We think that for some reason we're not getting it, you know, and that other people are, that we're stuck and other people aren't, and things like this. And I think it puts you into perspective, seeing that everyone has struggles. Some people go a little faster, some people go a little slower, some people have a little more technique, but they're struggling a little more with theory or like their, you know, fretboard and things like that. We all are different, but we all have room for progress. And yeah, I think it's good that that's how you feel about this. That's awesome. And so we're like, we could say it's been roughly like what, 4 or 5 weeks of like actually going through the content here. Um, how do you feel compared to where you started with regards to your theory, your navigation, all that stuff?
It's one of those that you don't realize you're picking up as much as you do until I don't know, you just like you have these little windows or something where you go, "Oh, yeah, 2 months ago, I wouldn't have had a clue what that is." And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like every time we do a new chapter or even I see something online, I like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is now."
Do you already find yourself like sometimes jamming around, moving into certain tonalities, playing chord progressions, and starting to get some of those glimpses when you're playing?
100%. Yeah. Like it's and I do find myself spending a lot less time actually jamming. Like I'm going through something over the course or the next challenge. I'm like I will attack it and like sit down for however much time a day and just hammer on it. And then when I go back to attempting to play something that I was trying to play before, it just all comes easier and you can start to kind of figure it out a little bit and
Yeah,
see you start to foresee kind of the next steps.
that's super cool. That's comforting for me. So when it comes to the group experience itself, the videos and things like that, like, yeah, do you feel like this works? Do you feel, you know, taken care of, supported, encouraged, all those things that I think people would expect from one-on-one, and sometimes have a little like hesitation when it comes to like a group setting? They're like, oh, I feel like I'm just going to be a cog in the wheel, and you know, Will's not going to care about me, he's just going to be doing his thing. Like, how does it feel having a community around and it being in the group format, and with the of course, the, you know, the pre-recorded videos that outline the curriculum and the roadmap?
I've got two answers for this. The first one is it is refreshing and just nice. Like you have your stuff together. Like it's oh you're for the most part you were on it. You're not you didn't sign up and then have somebody disappear or whatever. Like that's just fun and amazing in itself. But then the group is I don't know what I thought about it or how I thought it was going to be at first, but that's been probably one of the funnest parts to see everybody else and the challenges that they're struggling with, and it makes it all much more of like a more human experience, I guess.
That's awesome. That's exactly what I hoped it would feel like when I created this. And then how about the calls? Do the calls, because I that's again another thing. I think there's a lot of courses out there. People like join these calls and it's like a mosaic of people so giant that they're like small like this. And then there's the guru, talking about the wisdom, and then maybe like four people can ask questions at the end of the call, that all tapping the questions, and there's like two or three questions answered. So how do the calls feel? Do you feel like it's interactive? You feel like it's not as good as one-on-one could be? How do you feel with that?
Better than one-on-one, because I have some social anxiety and everything else. So it's nice to have not all the pressure on me. But then it's very intimate. Like I find myself like almost in a classroom trying to get to the back, like, oh, I hope he doesn't call on me.
Yeah.
But definitely in every way, shape, and form feel heard.
Thank you for that too, because I really want to make sure that this is the case. Um, it's of course it's tremendous amounts of work, but this is the feedback I've been getting, and so I'm happy that it still feels like this.
Every time I log into that, it is just mind blowing the amount of work and energy. That's really the only thing I think about every time I log in. It's like this had to take forever.
Yes, that's the short answer. It does, but it's worth it, and it's been my dream since I got to the States to put this information out there, to put this method out there. I'm not saying this method is for everyone. I'm not saying this is the one guitar method. However, I know that for people like you that have been playing for a while and that just really need to kind of zoom in on the music theory and how it applies to the guitar and to the fretboard and to your general understanding of music, getting all those good practices of guitar, getting all your ducks in a row, knowing how to practice, all these things. I feel like that's something, I've definitely managed to streamline, and putting that into something like this was my dream. So it's really, and it's thanks to you and all the other people in the academy that this is coming to fruition. So that's really amazing.
Yeah, you do have your ducks in a row. Well done, man. It's impressive. It's very impressive.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Well, we'll probably ask about pricing, of course. Like you said, it's a sum of money that people sometimes are not prepared to spend when it comes to their music education. Between you and me, they're prepared to spend it on amps and guitars, but rarely on the education part of it. Uh, so knowing this again, that it's a year program that I'm crafting, so it's quite a bit of time. And then looking at the content, the calls, the value, and all these things, would you recommend it? Even knowing all these things, and would you do it again? And do you think it's worth it?
100% on all fronts. I mean, if you even just comparing this to, let's say you took a 1 hour lesson every week for a year, you're not going to get anywhere near, you're not going to touch the amount of information that is on here. And then the community and everything else, it's going to be the same price or more, and you're not going to get a fraction of the content. Not to mention, then you're wasting an hour every week driving to and from lessons and all that jazz. So like it's I would do it again in in a heartbeat.
That's great. That's great to hear. Thanks. Means a lot. And commitment is key. And so this is also a question I have for you because, some people will be like, well, why don't you just do it as like a monthly thing or whatever? And then I say that the thing is that the investment is key because it's a lever that you're pulling on yourself, like I've already put myself forward into this financially. I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure I get what I want on the other side of that lever, and I'm gonna commit. And when I don't feel like it, I'm gonna think back to the fact that I spent a good amount of money, and I'm gonna actually go do the work and things like that. Where if not, it's so easy after a month to be like, for new things to come up in your life, and all of a sudden, little by little, you start trickling out of it, and you're done, right? And that's it. And then you unsubscribe, and bye bye. So what do you think of that aspect?
I imagine anybody who has found themselves looking at your course has done that exact thing how many times before. Like it is the lever of accountability. And you don't sugarcoat it. Yeah, it's going to be work, and you've got to show up, and it's going to take some time, and it's going to take energy. But like you said, putting the money down there is that's your accountability.
Yeah.
Like it's like if a kid has to pay for college themselves, those are the ones who always graduate. You have your stuff together. If you just go to a one-on-one lesson, say by if you got any questions or anything else, this is all the downside versus the academy is if you have any questions or whatever, you've got to wait a week. As where, man, if I got a question, I wherever I'm at, whether it's on my phone or laptop, I just type something in and you're on it.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want people to feel like. So that's what I would have liked when I was struggling with all these things. So that's great. That's perfect. Well, thanks, Brian. That's it for me. Do you have anything else to add?
I just want to say thanks for the course, man, and I appreciate all of your work. That's great.
Thank you, and a lot of awesome stuff coming soon here. So yeah, have fun, and yeah, you know where to find me.
See you on the call tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you on the call tomorrow, Brian. Take care. All right, thanks, Brian, for this review. Again, I am extremely grateful to have people like Brian here in the Academy and tons of students joining on a daily basis. It's really, again, motivating me to keep going. The more I get reviews like this, people that will say that their lives changed for the better and that they're finally really feeling connected to the guitar and driven and motivated, that really warms my heart. This is why I do this. So if you're in a similar situation as Brian, if you feel stuck, if you are out there looking in the internet trying to find all your theory answers and you think you understand, but then you realize you don't, and you're scrambling. You have a bunch of pieces here and there, but it doesn't really make sense. It's not your fault. There is a solution, and I have done my absolute best making it as simple, clear, and efficient as possible. If you're any guitarist that's passionate enough to go through this program and do the work, I've really made a method that will allow you to do this in the shortest amount of time, and while you're in, again, an ecosystem, an environment that is healthy to learn the guitar music theory. I guarantee that by the end of your time in the Academy, you will know everything that you need to know in music theory and more. You will get more motivated. You'll even maybe feel motivated to start musical projects and to make music a bigger part of your life in ways that you didn't think were possible. So if you're interested, there's a link down there. If the link is there, that means there are spots available, okay? If you want to learn a little more about the method, there's also a link to a free training where I'll describe a little bit more about my methodology and how I approach music theory and fretboard navigation. If you're ready to apply, and the link is available here, just click on the link. It's again, wilmetsacademy.com/apply. Otherwise, there's also that free training if you want a little bit more information. All right, I really hope to see you on the other side. Take care, my friend, and let's go shred.